Indie games are the heart and soul of the gaming industry. They bring about innovation, new concepts, and ways of thinking that sometimes AAA games have lost along the way. Sometimes indie games are created from the inspiration of a craze or a fad that has taken hold of the gaming community, and sometimes these games come from a place of pure passion from the genre that the developer is passionate about. This is what Banished Sir is, an indie game that creates its heart and soul, and you can see the passion in it, but it fell flat for me. What's going on, you guys? It's your Huggable Hipster here, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be diving into my review of Banished Sir. I do have a confession to make, actually. This game was sent to me a little bit ago, probably like a year or so ago, and I'm just getting around to reviewing it now. But I really appreciate Server for sending me a copy of this game. Let's get into this review. The first game, the first video, the first attempt at anything will come littered with mistakes, and that's okay. Someone's first game is a rough draft, a framework, if you will, of what's intended rather than what is. When creating a game, there are so many ideas that want to come to fruition, but due to limited resources or time, it's not possible to make everything come to life, especially when you are first starting in this industry. This game, I feel, reflects on not having enough time and resources. Banished Sir was created with RPG Maker MZ, which is specifically designed for creating RPGs with augmented features. The maker is beneficial for those who want to create a game and want an easier way to go about things with not too much coding knowledge involved. It doesn't necessarily mean less work is put into it, it just makes a little bit of an easier time for the developer to create the game. When Banished Sir was released, it was met on Steam with a mixture of opinions, and the main thing I want you all to keep in mind is don't take things so seriously. New indie game developers should be met with joy and excitement about the fact that they dove in head first and even attempted to make a game, which no matter what you do, whether it's coding from scratch or using an RPG maker, it's difficult. Banished Sir is influenced by so many games like Undertale and popular RPGs of the 80s. While this game was relaxing and fun at points to play, I feel they didn't give the player too much room to maneuver. When Sir or his party would be in a fight, I would have to wait for the stamina bar to rejuvenate. In the meantime, the enemies can attack while the player's waiting for said stamina bar. Not only that, but when I was just getting into the fight and noticed that I was low on health and tried to leave the fight, I was unable to, which was somewhat annoying. There was a boss in the third dungeon that you could do minimal damage to as well, and even when I would try to leave that boss, my characters would just die instantly without leaving. There was also a boss in the third dungeon that I tried to fight, and it would just go down, like the health would go down so minimally that I wasn't even making a dent in it, and each time that I would try to leave that fight, my characters would just die instead. Even when I tried to attack certain enemies, or they would be in a cluster of 3, I felt like I had no time to attack because the enemies themselves would attack me too quickly for me or my party to attack them, if that makes sense. Games are meant to grow. Games are meant to evolve with time, and they show promise with each game that's made from the developer. Now, Banished Sir, while it needs work, it shows that promise and eager love for the genre that it's in. But you guys, that was my mini review of Banished Sir. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really honestly, even though I'm not too much of a fan of turn-based, I so respect the fact that, you know, developers like Server create these games, and they create it with a purpose because, let's be honest, you know, everyone is getting older and there are new generations who are coming in and experiencing new types of games. Keeping it turn-based and keeping classic game structures, if I want to say, alive is so very important for not only learning purposes, but experiencing them and getting to understand the history of gaming itself in this industry. But if you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below. I make videos every day here on YouTube. May you find your worth in the waking world, your hunter. Stay casually nerdy, and I will see you all in the next video. Ubasa.